When companies start using generative AI in the workplace, they often make some critical mistakes. First, they allow employees to use it and rely too heavily on it for writing tasks, where they just start to copy and paste information without any proper due diligence. Secondly, there's often a lack of accountability within the organization on how AI is used. And so these mistakes will open doors to errors, miscommunications, and potential damage to the business. Today, we will explore some of these pitfalls and talk about how we can ensure that AI is used responsibly and effectively within your workplace. Hi, I'm Marjorie, and on this channel, I teach a humanistic approaches for organizations and teams that create better leaders and boost performance. So those of you that know me, you know that my work that I'm someone that deeply cares about humanity and all the social issues that we face. I've been really reflecting on how we can best navigate this rapidly changing landscape of AI and its impact that it has on society and the workplace. Now, you can find all kinds of conversations on the internet about this issue, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents and what I see and what I would recommend as someone that is, I consider myself a humanist and a futurist. I believe that there is a way for us to embrace the growth of technology that will not just set us up for doom. Okay. If you want to go back and listen to my perspective on what this could look like, I have a 10-minute video titled Reconnecting Ourselves in an AI-Driven World, or you can listen to my 3-minute video, AI in the Workplace. So today, I just want to give you a little bit of what I would consider maybe the syllabus for my upcoming workshop called Responsible AI in the Workplace, and I'll be offering that in January of 2025. This is going to be a one-day workshop for organizational leaders, managers, HR professionals, where we'll focus on three main areas, really understanding the principles of responsible AI. What does that really mean? What does that look like in your space? And we're going to brainstorm and explore some of that, right? And next, we'll look at the ethical and social and organizational implications of AI integration. How can you responsibly and safely deploy the use of AI without employees, first of all, overusing it, relying on it too much, using it irresponsibly, but also on the flip end of that, feeling a sense of dread and anxiety and resisting the use, the integration of AI. And then we'll also develop a framework for AI governance and responsible deployment in the workplace. And so we'll set up a template of some sort and and look at the use of AI in phases as you start to roll it out to have some best practices. When you leave, if nothing else at the end of this workshop, you'll have a deeper understanding of what is available for you in this technology. You may not be ready now, but at some point you're thinking that it's going to happen. And so this workshop will help you have a deeper understanding of what this can look like. So you feel a lot more comfortable with taking the next step. So, what you should know is that right now there are many sectors and trends, right, where AI is being utilized along with human input, feedback, and guidance. And that is going to be the key thing. So, let me tell you why it is important to the future of AI and the future of our generations for us to do this and have this conversation, because how we use AI today will determine what the future looks like for our children and for our grandchildren, right? What they will be exposed to and their role in the future of humanity. Okay, so just understand that we are at the forefront of this, rolling this out. And so I think we should take a lot of responsibility and do our due diligence with this. Now, you can use AI with your talent capital in a way that will increase productivity. If you're an employee and you're using generative AI, GPT, this information is for you as well. So please listen closely. AI, it really excels in handling large data sets, automating repetitive tasks, analyzing complex information quickly and for the most part, accurately. But by delegating these tasks to AI, your employee can now focus on maybe some higher levels stuff, some strategic work that requires a lot more creativity, critical thinking, interpersonal skills, right? So this division of labor is what leads to more efficient workflow. And an example of this right now, and I know a lot of us are seeing this, is in the healthcare sector. AI can sift through thousands of medical images in seconds, right? And they can identify patterns that would probably take a doctor a lot more time to detect. So, um, you can have the AI do this, but then doctors are still needed to interpret those patterns, right? Within a broader context of the patient's medical history, right? And that way they can make informed treatment decisions based on that. There's going to be criteria that the machine won't know, but it can say, hey, I picked up on this, saw this, highlighting this, and then it gives the doctor a little bit more time. He can, using the patient's history to really look more into that. So, so that's one way we're seeing it used. But when you start to let AI or GPT rather, let's just say write a letter without providing proper context, and then you just copy and paste the output, that it's not only careless, but it also removes the critical human oversight that's needed for quality assurance. And believe me, it's happening. So, could you imagine your doctor now doing this with your medical imaging? Just taking whatever AI says and just going with it? No, we expect people to do their jobs, the jobs that they've been trained for, they're educated in, they're knowledgeable in, right? So the technology is just really there to help enhance and assist them. But if you want someone to carry out a full task of some sort, we can talk in another video about the more autonomous agents that are available and are out there. But this isn't about that. This is about, working in collaboration with. So, now, what's also interesting is that while we often criticize AI for its bias, we need to remember that as humans, we also carry our own biases, which can easily influence our work as well. This presents a valuable learning opportunity for both the machine and for humans. So, for instance, let's take personal recruitment as an example. AI can screen through thousands of resumes quickly, just like it does medical imaging, right? And it can identify candidates based on specific questions that have been inputted, right? And keywords, right? So they're picking up on that. However, it doesn't just stop there. It still requires the recruiter, the hiring professional, to review the AI's recommendations to make sure that their decision to move forward with a client are it aligns with the company's diversity and inclusion goals. It aligns with what's important to the job description for this particular role that they're applying to, right? And mind you, they still have to go through the interview process, but this is just the first step. And so it can help to streamline that. So AI can be a very powerful tool, but human oversight is going to be essential to make sure that the outcome is both fair and it's reflective of the organization's values. All right. So, for those of you that are currently using generative AI in your day-to-day at work without your company's knowledge, I want you to stop for a minute and think about a few things. All right. First of all, don't blindly rely on GPT outputs, right? AI generated content, it can be prone to errors and inaccuracies. So you always want to review and you want to edit, right? And just to make sure that it is in alignment with, it meets the company's quality standards, so to speak, right? Um, you can use it as a support tool. I would say, to help maybe check for grammar and sentence structure and clarity, right? You always want to fact check. You always want to proofread. You want to be very careful with including company data and people's names. Um, and at the end of the day, don't pass it off entirely as yours, right? Especially if you're copying and pasting. And I think most importantly, you also want to understand what are the legal and compliance implications of using that in your workplace. I would say that if this is something that you found helpful, is a helpful tool for you, talk to your company about putting together some best practices around that. Okay. So now we see that this is not GPT spitting out all of the answers that we want and we just run with it, right? It's definitely a collaboration between AI and humans that can be very, very beneficial. So, and a couple of things, I won't get into this today, but I want to have some more conversations around this is, if you're not ready to fully introduce AI as a software tool platform within your organization, but you want to start to maybe utilize it in some ways. There are a lot of built-in features and softwares and platforms that you can take advantage of. If you're on Microsoft Teams and you're using the entire suite, I know that they have co-pilots there. Zoom has incorporated AI companions for like transcribing notes from meetings, summarizing meeting notes, and helping you with next steps after those meetings. So all of those are like support tools, right? That will get you a lot more comfortable with using an AI software in some way that I think most companies are probably already using. And then finally, an important part of this, which we'll be doing in the workshop, is talking about building a responsible AI framework, right? So you want to have a group or a governance board committee responsible for ensuring that AI projects align with the core values of the organization, fairness, accountability, transparency, right? And it's important that this is not just leaders in the organization. It cannot just be leadership. It needs to be as diverse as possible, one or two people from each different department at all different levels, depending on the size of your organization, right? And you want to really look at things like privacy and data security, continuous monitoring and feedback loops, right? For using tracking and safety metrics, right? Just providing a way for those that are utilizing the system to give feedback and report any issues so you can make adjustments as you're going along. And then put together some best practices for ethical principles with, just continued training and dialogue. That's it. This is not a one-off. You continue to train and understand how things are being upgraded, what's coming next. And as you start to use these tools, is there something more we want to bring in and incorporate, and having some foresight in the future as far as technology, right? And I think a great way of doing this, it's A collaborative model that I use is I use some design thinking when it comes to this. And I shared what this looks like as well in a video titled The Power of Collaboration. So just check that out. And it talks more about what design thinking can look like in a collaborative space. And so that will help you as you're, making your way through each ideation of this process and this phase. So I don't want to dive too deep into the details here, but I hope that this has just given you a glimpse of what you can expect in my Responsible AI in the Workplace workshop. That's going to be launching January 2025. If you're interested in having me come and facilitate at your organization, feel free to leave a comment below and then we can schedule a call. Also, if you have any questions, don't forget, drop that in the comments also, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, subscribe. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.